think one thing that you're gonna notice in this video, got a fucking thumbnail. I just like I mean like we got a guy who does graphics and stuff for EGL, but he's always busy doing events and stuff, and I don't want to keep badgering him. I'm trying to get stuff like thumbnails and stuff. So I'm just gonna do it myself, and I think I've done an alright job. I think I've done an alright job. I'm recording this video before I'm about to start to do it, but I think I'll have done an alright job when we get there. But either way, irrelevant. Let's get into the content of this video. Obviously, Rostermania started today, and I think this one's going to be a really big shift in a few of these teams. I mean, I know it's going to be at this point. I mean, of course, we've seen last night, Twitter was on fire at about 3 a.m. this morning, UK time, where we've seen Rated and Skrapz going at each other, which, I mean, we'll divulge into that a little bit another time, I think, of what was said. I mean, I was disappointed with some of the things that was said because I don't think necessarily some of them are true. I think both of them were really just showing off on Twitter a little bit, and it should be talked about behind closed doors, I feel. You know, these boys are friends of mine. I don't like to see that happen, but at the same time, you know, the tensions build up. This is one of the things about team houses that I was never really too sure on, because, you know, all these things happening. These two are typing on keyboards at each other, but they should go and speak to each other. But either way, I think irrelevant that we know that Skrapz and Zero looking definitely that they are gone from Red. The initial rumors are reported on Twitter and Reddit. We'll get into them in a second, but yeah, I said it's looking like they are off, and this seems to be starting a chain of events that is going to be probably one of the biggest Rostermanias we've ever had, I would say. I think it's going to be a real big one before London. Anyway, Skrapz and Zero definitely are from Red. We know that. It looks like they are gone. Cheap contracts. We spoke about this the other day. And yeah, it's a free-for-all. Skrapz has said he's been contacted by 8 or 9 orgs. We know that Zero has definitely been spoke to as well. So the initial rumors, and again, I've got this all written down because I don't want to try and remember everything that I can. And I don't want to get anything wrong. But initial rumors reported where Skrapz was off to Envy. There was also a rumor of Celium coming into that roster too. I'm presuming that would have been replacing Apathy and X respectively, with obviously Skrapz in for App and Celium in for X. That's what I presume would have happened. Zero is off to EG. That was what I heard. Presuming this would have been a place of royalty or attach, but it's hard to say. The attach situation maybe would have made a bit more sense after what we've seen on Reddit last night. But then it's up in the air in terms of Zero's on about being rumoured in that phase roster as well. But let's continue through this. So Red's roster, or whoever organisation they ended up under, but that core Red roster would have been Rated, Joe, bringing in Alex from formerly Lightning Pandas Team Sweden. You all know Alex last year, young you lad. You know, Brack in there as well. Now, I like that pickup from them as well. I mean, I had this confirmed. This was definitely something that was in the works. I don't know if it is anymore, but they were looking for a +1 as well. Now, that was depending on what other rosters were going to get changed. Obviously, Skrapz could have potentially gone Envy, that sort of thing. It would have made a difference in terms of where some players like Apathy could have ended up. He could have ended up on that roster. Players like that. Now, the goalposts now have seemed to be shifted. The above Red team, as far as I'm aware, could still be on the cards, but obviously potentially under a different roster. There's a lot of talks behind the scenes of organizations dropping entire rosters at this point. And a few of these teams really aren't safe in their spots at this second. I don't want to delve into the teams that I've heard. You can make your own minds up about this one, but I just think that organizations are not hanging around. If they're not having a good time in the Pro League, if they're not having a good time at events, then some of these rosters are deemed unsavable. So some of them look like they're being split up. I'll let you guys make your own presumptions. I'm not going to go out there and call out whatever organizations are doing this. It wouldn't be correct for me to do so, but there are a couple of organizations looking at completely new rosters. This organization is looking to come in with completely new rosters. Players coming in who haven't been in the Pro League. Obviously, we've seen that from the potential phase rumor, etc. But let's jump into a little bit more. So I said the above Red team of Rated Joe, Alex, Brack +1 could still be happening. But Skrapz said on Twitter during his argument with Rated, he said, hope you, what did he say? You best hope you get on Envy. I'm just gonna bring the tweet up. What an idiot. I had it ready to go. I had it ready to go. What did he say? What did he say? So Reese said to him, don't know which team I'll be on and see yet, but I get to play the biggest yes man in the scene. Cannot wait. Skrapz said, yes man, you best hope you get an Envy, otherwise you're on a flight back home. Good luck, fella. Right, so that obviously confirming the fact that Rated is potentially in talks with Envy, which it makes sense. Look, I've seen a lot of people on, I think a lot of people on Reddit sort of don't appreciate how good Rated is because of his persona. I don't think he's as good at this game as he was at World War II, don't get me wrong. But I think a lot of people, because they don't like him, they don't see him as a good player. He's a very good player, and I think it would make sense for me to see him on that roster potentially, and that was potentially with Cilium going in there as well, I've heard. So this NB roster could be a couple of different things. It's looking like more like Rated on there than Skrapz at this moment in time. It's looking as if that this phase roster could be happening. The rumored one that has been said on Reddit could be happening. Obviously, with Rated's input, he said about Itachi and JCap coming in there as well. For me, I think it's going to be Zero and Skrapz in there with Itachi and JCap, and then probably Zuma, especially if Cilium goes to Envy. My point is about this video that there's so many different things going on right now. There's so many different moving parts that there's not necessarily anything in concrete just yet. It's very much up in the air, and I'm just trying to give you an idea of the battlefield right now to see where it lies. But everyone strap the fuck in, because this is going to be a pretty mad one, I think. And there's so many different options that could be happening. We could see, ultimately, I would say probably about four. I think there's 4 or 5 different players who are not in the Pro League right now. We could see them on rosters come the end of the roster change period. Not too sure when it ends, actually. But I presume it'll be like a week before London or something like that, because obviously we've got a little bit of a break now. And put it this way, London is going to be a very interesting event. Obviously, we've seen Rated tweet out that Pool C, which has EG, Envy, Red, and who else did it have in? God, this is really poor from me. I should really be knowing these things. Let's have a look. Oh my God, I've just messed up. Where is it? I'll tell you what, let's just go on the Call of Duty World League Twitter just to confirm what these are. I don't want to tell you. So it's E United, Red Reserve, Envy, and EG. Look, I mean, a lot of these teams could very much be changing. Look, there's a lot of them that have not had good periods. There's some who are getting better. There's players outside the Pro League who could definitely be in there. There's so many different options of what could happen, guys. I will keep you up to date with what I can, to be honest with you. I said I don't want to like divulge into some of the other stuff that's been mentioned, but it's going to be a mad one. I said, strap in for it. Leave a comment below what rosters you want to happen. I mean, look, there's so many different ones that could go either different way. Where do you want to see Skrapz end off? A lot of people really want to see this guy in a top team winning championships, which I think they could have done with Red if they maybe made 1 or 2 changes, but is what it is. That one's been changed now. Please leave a like on the video as well. Subscribe if you can. I said, leave a comment below what you want to see happen, what you think will happen, because really, I just don't know.